Why have I recommended this book to dozens of people? Well, candidly, Garten is an icon. She opened Barefoot Contessa with almost no experience, and then she couldn't even get a loan without her husband. Through all of that, she perseveres, and I firmly believe that we as women stand on the shoulders of the women that came before us. I'm able to be in a boardroom full of men and hold my own because of women like this that came before me. I'm Liz Connolly. I've sold $500 million worth of meals at my company that I founded, Trifecta. I am passionate about learning, and I want to share my learnings with you. So I want to talk about the 3 most actionable concepts from the book. Number 1 is that she followed her passion. So she sees an ad for a small little shop in the Hamptons. She doesn't even go and visit the shop before making an offer, and it completely changed her life. She shares stories about learning how to run a food business with 0 experience, and she even shares about crying in the walk-in fridge, which I found very relatable, having run a food business for 10 years. It's just an incredible journey of trying things and jumping in with both feet, even though, she may not have the background or the experience that most people would think you would need. Then she's approached for a cooking show, and she's super nervous to do it, doesn't know if it'll be her vibe, but she does it anyway, and it really works because it's super approachable, so she's making it comfortable for people. It's not all scooped out and ready to go, and she's just throwing it together. She really invites you into her kitchen. She's got guests over that she makes it a more fun and enjoyable environment. So she's just really making it her own. So I love this concept of following your passion, because it makes it so much easier to do something well when you are excited about it. And the last area where she stays in her passion is she dives in seemingly fearlessly to writing cookbooks. She describes in the book that she was actually very nervous about it, but that area is very passionate to her, so she ends up really flourishing and writing tons of cookbooks. I loved that she was open to trying new things and had an excitement for it, so she did it anyway. And I found that really relatable to Trifecta because when my brother approached me with the idea and concept, I spent just a couple weeks doing due diligence, checking out what other brands existed. This was way back in 2015. And I almost immediately jumped in. When you know, and you have to take the leap. And so I jumped in. I ended up spending every penny I had to help get it off the ground, from my 401k, my savings, any investments. I spent future wedding money that my parents had set aside. I mean, everything. I threw the kitchen sink into this, no pun intended, into this project because I really believed in it. I really had a lot of passion for the fitness and health space. And lo and behold, of course, it flourished over the years and became a very big, successful company. So couldn't agree more with the concept of following your passion that she talks about in the book. Number 2 was I loved her approach to pivoting careers. She was super open to it. She starts in nuclear energy policy, which she very quickly realizes she doesn't have a passion for. Then she gets into food retail, like I was just talking about. Then she becomes an author. This book was actually very recent, but she did the cookbooks for ages. And then she becomes a TV personality. I mean, she just was super open and fluid with those career pivots. I really related to this because I started my career in sales. Then I got into Trifecta, which is, a food, healthy meal delivery business. And there I had to teach myself marketing, operations, finance, you name it, had to learn that. And then after years at Trifecta, I am starting a new company called Katsu. And here I'm really focused on AI, and I've just had to really have this approach to learning new things constantly. I'm learning how to, create videos and YouTube and courses. I love the concept of that, like, continuous evolution of a career, because it often feels like we should be, doing the same thing for a really long period of time, which I think there's value in to some extent. But love the idea of really just kind of following your passion and going where makes the most sense at that time. Number 3 is your brand is how you make people feel. So whether it was a dinner party, a cookbook, a retail store visit, any of those things, she was making people feel really warm and comfortable. Her business, or she was giving that vibe, and that was really core to her brand and core to her success. For instance, when she was writing her first cookbook, she tells how it almost didn't happen because the people that were doing the photography and the design were giving it this vibe that was not approachable, it wasn't warm, and she ends up literally teaching herself photography and design so that she can do it herself. It's just incredibly inspirational that she is sticking to her guns and saying, this is what I want it to be in the feeling that I want to convey. And, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. I always thought about my brand and how I make people feel at Trifecta as core to the company culture. So our core values are hard work, extreme ownership, and continuous learning. And those are so innate within me that it was really easy to lead by example. And I quite literally copy-pasted those core values over to my new business, Katsu, because they are the core things that I value and I want my businesses to value. So my big takeaway that is kind of a thread that ran through the whole book was her ability to take negatives and turn them into a positive. So like, she's working 20-hour days at Barefoot Contessa, where a lot of people would be like, wow, oh, that's really tough and shitty. She's taking it and saying, I'm learning so much, I'm having the time of my life, I'm doing what I'm passionate about, and I just absolutely loved that. You don't necessarily know in the moment either when something is, you could perceive it as negative. Maybe in the long run, it's going to be a positive. So go out there, make those shifts, see how everything starts to fall into place, and comment below what you think of the book.